not raining like now. I don't think that's going to last very long. I need to get to Kingshouse before 4 o'clock. Gore-Tex jacket is not waterproof, it's just not. There is water all surrounding the tent. Look, there's water right here. It's right under the ground sheet. I've made the executive decision, I'm going to abandon camp. This was a pathway before, now it's just water. Highland Wigwam campsite now. That was a welcome dry night, dry clothes, shower, totally needed. Off to Tyndrum now. Now we're heading under the A82, as we've crisscrossed many times along this route and will do many times more, and alongside the river Fillen. I think it's Fillen. Spotted a couple of places where you could wild camp alongside the river Fillen just now, but it's literally 10 minutes from the Wigwam campsite, so it depends what you want. Just to the left here of the bridge and the river, wild camping spot. Not sure how I've managed it, but I've been down this path about 15 minutes ago, and I went past that house over there about 15 minutes ago. Somehow I've managed to go in a big circle around here and back down this path. So yes, the West Highland Way is very well marked. It is, but you still got to keep your wits about you. You still got to pay attention. I remember missing a signpost once before, because if you remember, I showed you this signpost about 15 minutes ago. Oh well, let's try again. And here is a little signpost for the West Highland Way that I missed the last time I did this and went up there. I really must pay more attention. Legend would have it that this is the little lake where Robert the Bruce threw his sword in there, but in reality it's probably just a good tale. Look at all this lovely heather in full bloom. There's two campsites here. Just ahead is pine trees, and by the way, pine trees is more for caravans and hobbit huts and hiker huts. Don't think you can pitch a tent there, whereas by the way is more for campers, pitching up your tent for the night. This is Pine Trees, or Tyndrum Holiday Park as it's now called itself. And the sign does say camping, but you certainly couldn't camp last year. Ah, there's a tent there. Maybe they've changed the rules, maybe you can now. Literally 5 minutes further on, you have By the Way campsite. All the facilities you need, and a sign that is good to know: you can't check in till 2 o'clock. So most people wouldn't be able to, but still good to know. Okay, so leaving Tyndrum now and heading off to just past Bridge of Orkey, where there's a wild camping spot. I have camped up before. It's not a bad day today now. Not raining today, so taking the coat off. Calm before the storm, I think is the saying, because tomorrow apparently it's going to be horrendous. tail end of Hurricane Nigel, I believe. So it's going to be a bad day today, tomorrow, sorry. Good day today, so let's go. Starting to reach out into the proper highlands now, proper mountains, having left the loch side. In my opinion, the West Highland Way is divided into two halves. You've got the loch first half and the Highlands Mountains second half. About 10 minutes after leaving Tyndrum, there's a great little camp spot here, wild camping spot. If you don't want to camp in Tyndrum itself, lovely little spot that. Just by the railway at the moment that runs all the way to Fort William. I'm taking that back in 4 days time. Hello, hi. That runs all the way from Fort William through Tyndrum, Crianlarich onto Glasgow. Start to see the trail now winding through the valley that way. Rain's holding off, but I do feel a bit of moisture in the air, but I'm going to trust in the forecast. And under the train tracks we go. Bit taller than that last bridge, wasn't it? That was ridiculously low. This stretch runs along the A82, as does a lot of it. Also alongside this river for most of the way until we get to Bridge of Orchy. The path between Tyndrum and the Bridge of Orchy is fairly flat and long and fairly straight, and because it's fairly flat you can get quite a bit of decent mileage in. Certainly don't need trekking poles, and when you leave the Bridge of Orchy, if you're going on further like me to just past Inveroran Hotel, a little place called Victoria Bridge, wild camping spot there, then you climb up out of the Bridge of Orchy, up, and about an hour later you are there. Fantastic camping spot, been there before, definitely recommended. And there's the hotel in the distance there. Should be there in about 15 minutes I reckon, maybe 20. Very good time actually. It's only about 3:15, so quite happy with that. Just getting into the tiny little train station at the Bridge of Orchy, and if you can see there is a phone mast. So if you've got any messages you need to send, check the weather forecast, stuff like that, this is the place to do it, right here by Bridge of Orchy train station, because I've had no signal for the last, I don't know, 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. And as soon as I get over the hill after leaving the bridge, won't be any signal over there near the Inveroran Hotel. Where wild camping at Victoria Bridge is no signal, so this is the place to do it. You can actually stay here at the station. They have these little rooms, little cabins, bunkhouses, call them whatever you want. You can actually stay here. Shouldn't get disturbed too much by the trains because there's only a handful come through every day. But yeah, it's an option. Just coming down now, there's the hotel. And I believe it's very nice. Not the cheapest place in the world by any stretch of the imagination, as this is the only hotel for quite a way. But yeah, we're going. Quite a few motorbikes go past here because it's the west coast 500 is it? West Coast 100, 500. Here we are on the bridge itself, and that is the river, River Orkney, funnily enough. Flowing a lot more than it was back in June. And here's a couple of, it's a good wild camping spot. It's quite a well-known wild camping spot. Nobody here right now, but and again, it's not really summer, so probably nowhere near as busy. But yeah, great spot. Don't need to, what 3 words this? If you can't find this place, then something wrong, because so easy to find, can't miss it. But yeah, very popular wild camping spot this. But we're heading on and upwards that way. A little bit of a climb coming out of the bridge up to the top of the hill. Some great views from the top of here. It's the first up we've had for, well, pretty much most of the day, to be honest, so can't complain. Again, just like the forest just outside Strathfillan, which is just outside Trindrum, a lot of deforestation taking place here. This wasn't like this 2 years ago. I know we all need wood, but let's hope they replant them soon. Nice views starting to open up now. Little lock down there, don't know what it's called, but nice enough. Look at those views, fantastic views. Just there in the distance in the forest is the Inveroran Hotel, and just on the bend of the river is a wild camping spot. And here is the Inveroran Hotel. Fantastic hotel. If you want to stay here, you've got to book months, not weeks, months in advance. But the wild camping spot is just about 5 minutes up that way, and here there is a bar. You can get food, you can get drink, and you can top up your water as well. So absolutely wonderful. Okay, just filled up with water and went to the loo. I shall be back there in a while. Just going to pitch up here, get the tent pitched up, and be back for a well-earned beer. And here we are, this great little camping spot, similar to where we stayed last year. Well, it's the same spot, but not exactly the same spot, obviously. But yeah, what a fantastic spot this is, all pitched up. What a fantastic spot this is. And yes, it did rain a lot last night. It rained an awful lot, but it's not raining right now. I don't think that's going to last very long, but it's not raining right now, so hopefully we can get the tent put away before it starts to raining. This is the scene we're waking up to. 4 other tents on this little spot because it's a really popular spot. But yeah, let's get the tent down. Okay, leaving the camp spot now. Great little spot that was. I'm not going to what 3 words that because you can't miss it. It's here, Victoria Bridge, just past the Inveroran Hotel. Can't miss it. Little camping spot to the right and the one to the left. Great spot. Just started to drizzle now. I think the rain radar is showing we've got incoming right now, so I'm going to crack on. Okay, about 10 minutes into the walk now, Weather forecast for today is still rain, but not as horrendous as originally forecast, so that's a bonus. I think still going to get pretty heavy about 4 o'clock, so I need to get to Kingshouse before 4 o'clock. If I keep on track, should be there for about 2:30, 3 o'clock, I reckon. Don't mind getting a little bit wet, but you don't want it to be torrential, do you? And I want to get my tent up before it gets too bad as well, so that's another thing. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Last civilization before we get onto Rannoch Moor. Just talking to that guy ahead of me there. It sounds like he's from America. He's going from Bridge of Orkney to Kinlochleven. That's a hell of a walk. So good luck to him. Doesn't look like he's got a full pack though, so probably a little easier. Well, this is the end of the little foresty area, and we're now stepping out onto the wilderness that is Rannoch Moor. Read somewhere it's one of the last wilderness, deserted, uninhabited places in Europe. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's certainly desolate. This is Rannoch Moor now, and it really is what it says on the tin: isolated, deserted wilderness. And it's just started to rain. Well, that's a strange looking mushroom. Don't remember seeing one of those before. Big too. Not doing a great deal of filming today on Rannoch Moor, not because it's not scenic, not because it's raining. It is raining and it is scenic. It's just that it's very much the same thing for mile after mile. So in terms of the walk, yes, great, fantastic scenery. But in terms of the video or to stick on YouTube, yeah, it's just pretty much the same thing for mile after mile after mile. Basically nothing. Wilderness. The odd lake walk every now and again, the odd forest every now and again, but other than that it's just wilderness, which is good. You can see the trail going all the way up here. It just goes on for miles. To be honest, miles. It just goes on for miles. Ooh. Now there is possibly the only wild camping spot I have seen on the whole of Rannoch Moor, because wild camping spots are virtually zero on this moor. It's just a bogland, it's marsh, it's wet, it's muddy, but that, first one I've seen. Possibly one over the other side as well. Where exactly is this? Well, having left Victoria Bridge just past Inveroran Hotel, I'm probably about 2 hours in, I reckon. Let's have a look at the old watch. Yeah, just over 2 hours in, so that's exactly where it is. I'm probably just getting close to halfway to Kingshouse. But yeah, I think I'll put 3 words that for you guys. One thing I've discovered today, this Berghaus Gore-Tex jacket is not waterproof. It's just not. I've only had it just over a year. That's just not good enough, Berghaus. I mean, look at that sleeve. There's no beading going on there. That's just wet. So, and like I said, over 100 quid for Berghaus. What's going on? There's a tiny bit of sun just in the distance over there. I don't know if you can see it on that hill, but I ain't holding my breath. windy day today. The only good thing is, the only saving point is the wind and the rain is coming from the south, and I'm heading north, so it's behind me. I don't know if you can see it, but just in the distance there's a little bit of trees, and in the middle of that is Kingshouse Hotel, and I'm wild camping at the back of there. So probably about an hour to go right now, but it's all downhill from here. And I've checked the rain radar, and the really heavy stuff is just off that way to the west of where I am. So at the moment it's just missing me, but the forecast is for heavy rain around about 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I want to make sure I get pitched up by them. I think this would also serve as a wild camp spot. Like I said, one of the few there is on Rannoch Moor. This is only the second spot I've seen. So here we have Glencoe Mountain, and that is the ski resort up there, and just behind the trees there is the sort of car park, and there's lodges and there's camping and there's showers. And if you get here before 4 o'clock and it's a nice day, you can actually go up the chairlift and get yourself on top of there, and it's a really good views across Glencoe Valley. Just there, covered in cloud, is an iconic mountain whose name I'm not going to try and pronounce. I'll put it on screen if I remember. Pyramid shaped mountain, and just over there in the distance is Kingshouse. So I reckon I should be there in about half an hour, but I can just start to feel a little bit of rain. Really trying to get a move on now, because that rain, the heavy stuff, not the light stuff we've had up to now, that heavy stuff is right behind me. And I really like to get the tent up, pitched, before that comes down. I reckon I've got about 15, maybe 20 minutes to, I don't want to pitch, so let's get going. Now it's got really windy, so it's definitely going to be a case of extra guy lines. Maybe the trees will give us a bit of protection, we'll see. Here we are, Kingshouse. Toilets and showers, although I did meet someone just before I said the toilets wasn't working, so that's not good. Kingshouse itself, busy. A lot of day trippers, I would like to call them, who've come for a day out and they're not doing the West Highland Way or camping. But in there later. What the hell is this? No camping. This is where I'm intending, or was intending to pitch up. But what the hell's this? Okay, so here we are, all pitched up. Got the extra guy lines in because it's been very windy and the wind's blowing from the south, so I've got these guy lines here on this side. It looks pretty sturdy as it's going to be anyway, isn't it? And then tomorrow we're heading up in them there hills. Decision, it's absolutely lashing down, which is not a problem. The tent's good to keep the water out, that's absolutely fine. The problem is around the tent it's absolutely flooding. The forecast is for more rain later. This is going to be substantial rain for some time, and There is water all surrounding the tent. Look, there's water right here. It's right under the ground sheet. I've made the executive decision. I'm going to abandon camp. See if I can get a place in the bunkhouse. While it's still light, while I still can. Not ideal. I wanted to camp here, but look at this water. It's just unsustainable, so I'm going to pack up. I'm going to leave my tent here, just going to pack my gear up, get the tent in the morning. So for the first time ever, might not be the last, I'm going to have to abandon camp. The tent can certainly take the rainfall, but it's underfoot. It's just flooded. Look at it, all around. Wasn't like this before. Just absolutely flooded. Underneath the tent is wet, and this river has well risen from before. This river's really risen. It only takes about another 2 feet and it's up where my tent is. This is bad. It's going to get worse, so it's best to abandon camp now while it's still light, while I can. I mean, look at this. Look at it. This was a pathway before, now it's just water. But the river is definitely concerning. The river is a lot heavier than it was 2 hours ago. This is a hell of a lot heavier than it was a couple of hours ago. Gonna try and see if I can get in the bunkhouse over here. Let's hope they've got space. Yay! Managed to get in the bunkhouse. 49 quid, including breakfast. Not too bad, I suppose. Not too bad at all. Look at this fella. It's absolutely blowing a gale. Okay, tent's still here, tent's still in one piece. I have somewhere to sleep tonight.